Alright guys, big day today, headed over to Sphere. Gonna check out this product launch, it's gonna be pretty big. We'll see how it goes. Hope you enjoy the vlog. The Phonak Infinio launch at Sphere was absolutely incredible. We started off the launch with one of the most amazing immersive experience I have ever had. Not only is there a 270-degree field of view, but the audio inside Sphere is incredible as well. In fact, I know the entire purpose of this experience was to announce Phonak's new product line, but I definitely did not need to wear the hearing aids during the presentation. That being said, let's cut right to the chase. This was all about the new Phonak Infinio platform. Phonak's Infinio platform includes several different models. We now have the Phonak Audeo Infinio rechargeable RIC, the Cross Infinio R, the Phonak Audeo Sphere Infinio R, the custom Verto Infinio R, the Verto Infinio 10 non-wireless, and the Verto Infinio Titanium. Yes, Phonak decided to initially release RIC, Cross, and custom products on the Infinio platform at the exact same time. All of Phonak's Infinio hearing aids are powered by their new Era chip that is focused on better sound quality, connectivity, reliability, and personalization, which in and of itself is an upgrade from their previous platform. But make no mistake about it, the highlight of this launch was definitely the Audeo Sphere Infinio hearing aid powered by artificial intelligence. Not only does the Audeo Sphere Infinio hearing aid use the Era chip, it also has their new Deep Sonic chip. That's right, one hearing aid, two chips. The Deep Sonic chip was trained using a large deep neural network, which is the first of its kind. With 53 times more processing power than current chip technology on the market, it was trained with 22 million sound samples, enabling its 4.5 million neural connections to separate speech from noise, providing a 10 decibel signal-to-noise ratio improvement, which is huge. Don't worry, I'll let you hear it for yourself, but first, everyone in attendance got to hear the difference that artificial intelligence makes when separating speech from background noise. I was fortunate and had a chance to receive a private experience with other media and influencers at the event from the two researchers that led the charge, Drs. Andy Van Lanten and Jason Gulster. I also happened to snag one-on-one interviews with both of them, and here's what they had to say about the development of this new technology. Hey guys, I'm here with Andy Van Lanten, and I'm actually going to let him introduce himself and what his role is with Sonova.
Yeah, I'm head of R&D at Sonova in the hearing instrument business for 40 years.
40 years. Well, I'm 42 years old, so it sounds like you started when I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for taking some time with me here today. I actually want to go back when you had helped develop this concept of directional microphones.
Yeah, it was beginning of the 90s, 92, 93, when I tried to optimize the directional microphone. At that time there was a directional microphone, but the performance was not so well, and I used a second microphone to optimize directivity, and at the end find out that with two microphones you can build a better directional microphone, and out of this AudioZoom started in 95.
Hey guys, I'm here with Jason Gulster from Phonak, and we just got done doing a really awesome demo over here, letting us listen to Sphere. So first of all, thanks for taking some time with me to speak with me today. And what is your role at Phonak?
I'm Vice President of Clinical Research Strategy.
Awesome. So my kind of guy to speak to, right? So get to someone who's actually doing the research.
We are.
I've actually been wearing Sphere for quite some time now, about a week or so. Super impressed with it myself, but what makes this completely different than all the other hearing aids that are out on the market right now?
This is the first hearing aid that has ever been introduced that has a hardware-accelerated deep neural network in it. We call it Deep Sonic, and it's something that was designed entirely by Phonak, and it's only available in this hearing aid.
But this is kind of like a new strategy with it. So how is that different from stuff that we've seen before already?
Well, when we think about running a DNN in software or on, say, a chip that has existed in a hearing aid for a long time, so when you try to add a DNN to that, it ends up being small and the functionality is quite limited. We had to build this dedicated chipset, and this is the Deep Sonic chip. And this Deep Sonic chip allows for real-time audio processing, and it is isolating the speech stream and denoising at the same time.
When artificial intelligence and deep neural network came up a few years ago, we recognized that would make a huge step because it really can denoise completely these ears, really the future in our industry.
So you're talking about back in 2019. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2019, pre-COVID, right? Did the technology that you guys are using right now even exist back then to the point where did you have to wait for technology to continue to develop before you could even put this inside of a hearing aid?
At that time, it runs on a PC, and we could run it on an iPhone, and it would, after 2 hours, the iPhone would be depleted.
Depleted, yeah.
So I think the system would exist, but there was a lot of work optimizing the DNN for lower power and optimizing a chip that could then run the DNN with a low power consumption.
What's really crazy is that when we were running the demo, you were kind of delineating the difference between using directional microphones, which is what we traditionally do with hearing aids for individuals trying to separate speech and noise, using multiple microphones to do so. The demo you did, we weren't using directional microphones. We were using just the deep neural network. How is that even possible?
The deep sonic system and spheric speech clarity, it only requires a single microphone. And so it's really that DNN that is using the signal processing to find multiple speech streams, isolate them, and reduce noise in real time. And it's doing that all. It can do it through a single microphone.
Well, it's kind of crazy because we always talk about like this is the future of hearing, but really kind of the future is right now. And I know it sounds cliche to say, but it really feels like that's where we're at right now. How long has Phonak really been working on this technology? Because I think that everyone thinks that like, oh, you come up with the idea, you create it, immediately it hits market. And that's just not how it works.
We've been working on topics like this for many, many years. But even if you look back 4 or 5 years, some of the fundamental basic work in order to realize this was beginning. And then it just keeps gaining speed and pace. It's like a snowball. So you build the base technology, you understand how it works, and then you start to think, how can we fit it into a hearing aid? But this all takes years and hundreds upon hundreds of people and thousands or hundreds of thousands of people hours contributing. So it's something that doesn't happen overnight. Being able to see it today, it was all worth the work.
Yeah, I think this is fantastic what you guys have really done. I don't think people really realize how much effort and work goes into developing a product and bringing it to market. Yeah, well, that's super cool. And Jason, I really appreciate you taking some time with me here today. I know we're super busy here at Sphere with doing all the different demos and all of that. I've actually got to get back to it because they're running a bunch of sessions upstairs without me right now. But again, thank you so much, and I'm sure I'll see you around. Phonak set up stations at Sphere with some of their experts I've been working with for years to learn more about their technologies and its development. Of course, I also wanted to get the impressions of other audiologists and dispensers on what they thought about the technology, and here's what they had to say.
Hey, Keela. So, you guys don't know this, but me and Keela went to school together at University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Look who I found, Dr. Lindsay Koval. We went to school together too.
Woohoo! Go Illinois.
Right, hello. What do you think about this so far?
It's been awesome. It's been so cool to see kind of the new innovative technology that they've come up with, and I'm really excited to start fitting patients with that.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome. I think it's super innovative, and I'm excited to offer it to some of my patients.
I think that I heard right now with the sound, phenomenal. I hope our patients can also hear this kind of sound.
Oh, I have to believe they will. I mean, I've been testing products since 2017.
Of course, yeah.
And I've heard the progression, and every once in a while you get, an upgraded technology that you don't really perceive much difference with.
Yeah.
This is one of the best ones that I've seen coming from the previous generation to this generation.
Exactly, yeah, it is. It's a huge jump from the Lumity level.
What did you think about everything inside the bowl that they showed us?
Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
Right?
Yes, it was really neat because it tied into everything that they were talking about with the technology and the hearing aid and the new chip they have out. So it was just awesome to be part of the experience.
Yeah.
Oh, the bowl was phenomenal.
That's crazy.
Phenomenal.
Like if you're ever at Sphere, like you have to go do that.
Yeah, unreal experience of the lights and the color and the brightness of the Sphere. It was awesome.
So I think it's super crazy. The biggest thing that I've noticed is how much time and effort they put into developing this tech and having to overcome all these obstacles and stuff like that. Like, what's your impression of the technology and what they had to do to actually bring it to life?
Yeah, I think as audiologists, sometimes we get in our little shell of we forget like the day-to-day of all of the research and R&D that actually goes into this. And I think it's really like eye-opening to know how hard they work to get this right. And I'm excited that they took the time to actually get it right so we can be guaranteed that it's going to work for our patient.
You have a little bit of research in your background, so what do you think of when they talk about they've been working on AI stuff for decades at this point, and they really didn't even start into this deep sonic chip until 2019, and then it took them 5 years to bring it to market. What do you think about as someone who's done research?
Yeah. So AI is that's a tricky topic because that's how you train a model, a deep network model. You add a lot of data to it and you tell them this is this and this is that. It has to find an algorithm in itself. So that's why, and it takes a large amount of data to make a good model. That's why, I'm glad that they took their sweet time, like 5 years, and I hope they can keep adding data to it like for the next 5 to 10 years, because that's the only way that it can train an AI model.
Absolutely, and here in a couple of days we're actually fit it on patients.
I know,
and
I
that's
can't
going
wait.
to be the most exciting thing that we've done in our profession probably to this
I
point.
can't wait to hear patient reactions.
Yes,
So
right?
looking forward to that. I can't wait to get my hands on these and get them on my patients' ears.
Right on, all right.
What I haven't told you yet is that I've been wearing the Phonak Audeo Sphere Infinio hearing aids for about a week at this point, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to see if their ability to separate speech and background noise was worth the hype.
All right, looking for some noise. Looking for some noise. I'm probably getting it super noisy on that microphone right there.
This is me and my Phonak rep, Chris Bailey, who is helping me test out the spheric speech and loud noise program in an incredibly noisy room, and I have to say that the hype is worth it.
So I'm using my spheric speech and loud noise program right now.
I walk around you, maybe I can stand over here and come around behind you,
I
like
can
maybe I
still-
was at.
No matter where Chris was, I could hear him as if he were standing right in front of me in a room that had nobody in it.
I'm going to switch it into calm situation just because you wouldn't expect an environment like this to do good in a calm situation program. I can hear a lot more of that background noise right now. And if you talk,
So, if I talk to you like I was before and asking you if you'd like a glass of water, it's probably a little harder for
it's
you to hear me
rough.
as I come back.
I'm not really
Maybe go
catching
around.
you, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's rough. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to my spheric speech and loud noise program. You can tell immediately the background noise drops out.
Yep. And you can hear speech from
And I
everywhere.
can hear you just it's glorious. I'm all in. I'm
Great.
all in.
Love it.
This has been great. This has been great. Cool. Well,
Of course, after the word got out that I was actually wearing the Sphere Infinio hearing aid,
Are you wearing this hair?
yeah.
everyone wanted to know what I thought of them. So I showed them how the hearing aids looked as I wore them, how they felt, how the app worked, and more importantly, how good they performed in background noise.
If I had to say without doing a direct comparison, probably one of the best hearing aids I've tested in a noisy environment like this. So.
And if you ask me, I think I turned some skeptics into believers. Because it's one thing to listen to a sound sample with headphones on, but it is a completely different experience to actually wear the hearing aids and have them perform in background noise as advertised. But what the heck, why don't I let you listen to a sample of just how good the Phonak Audeo Sphere Infinio hearing aids do their job of separating speech from background noise using their deep neural network trained by artificial intelligence.
This was like the intro song, and I was like so behind the beat because when I would press it down, all of a sudden the pitch shift stuff was behind by like 10 milliseconds. I mean, it's enough to make the feel off, you know. It's
As the day came to a close, it was a great opportunity to meet new people who have been following my YouTube channel for a while and catching up with old friends who I have not seen in person in years. Now, I've been to some epic hearing aid launches, but I have to say this Phonak Audeo Infinio launch at Sphere has to be one of the best, which was something that was definitely echoed by every single audiologist and dispenser that I spoke to at the event. To finish off, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Phonak for their tireless work to improve their hearing aid technology for individuals with hearing loss and for inviting me to the launch of their new Infinio line of devices. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this experience at Sphere here in Las Vegas. That was the absolute craziest time I've ever had with a launch of a new product. Now, if you guys want to learn more about this particular hearing aid or this lineup of hearing aids, make sure that you subscribe to my channel with notifications turned on because I will have a full detailed review video coming out here really soon.